Hello, I hope you are well. I wanted to show you my favorite breakfast. Oh my goodness. If you haven't tried this vegan Mayoko's butter, it is so good. It tastes just like butter and it's like a little salty. And I do like Ezekiel toast, but I wait for it to cool down so that the butter doesn't like melt because I like to like have that kind of hard butter. And then I put strawberry jam on one and marmalade on the other. Oh goodness, it is so good. It's because I grew up like with marmalade and strawberry jam on toast, so I crave that. And then for my coffee substitute, this is amazing. It is tocino. I've mentioned it several times. It comes in like the grains. So you put it in water, boil it, and then strain it out. And then for a sweetener, I use this monk fruit. It's like a more affordable version because they can be quite expensive, and I get it on Amazon. So a warm cup of that coffee substitute with 2 buttered pieces of toast, or 3. And I'm always glad it's not real butter because I put a lot on. And then with the coffee, I add in, this is one of my favorites, organic unsweetened soy milk, or Trader Joe's has one. I heard it got discontinued though, but I don't go there very much because it's really far away. I'm feeling good. I removed some toxic people out of my life and I feel really good. Like I feel myself again because it was a perpetuating thing, like an everyday thing for several months, and I did not feel myself. Like it's not ourselves to feel like anxious, and when we wake up, that's the first thing on our minds, and when we go to bed. So I feel very relieved because normally my life is like, sure, there could be an annoyance like for a day or 2 or 3 by somebody in, if you ask them to do business for you and they don't complete it properly, or they're not honest, or like there's a teller that's not so nice, and etc. But ongoing, I decided to relinquish my hold of that, thinking that it would be a cost to me, but actually it ended up being a blessing. So that was good. I don't like to get too much into detail about things like that. It makes me self-conscious. But it's really important that if there's like a thorn, a toxin, and it's consistent, find a way to let it go, find a way to free yourself from it, because it can be such a burden. And a healthy person wants to make things better, right? Wants a solution, wants to see it repaired, but some people are so toxic that they actually want controversy and conflict, and they get a rise out of it. I don't know why, I don't understand, but it was very draining. I hear the dog, and I'm wondering if he's not eating my toast. Oh, he's trying to eat my toast. Look at him. Look at him. I don't know if you caught him, but like he knows absolutely not to do that. But when I leave the room, he's an opportunist. And yeah, it's really nice to have like social engagements if it's possible. And I got invited to something that is like of interest to me, with people that I enjoy, to do with art. So I'm excited about that. And then I went to this event, and this woman saw me and reached out to me, and I wouldn't have because I'm a little bit shy. And it's, of similar interests and studying, the deeper meaning of life. And it's so wonderful because we can know somebody. For example, I know of someone that I've known for 10 plus years, and that person just entertained the toxic person's gossip because the toxic persons felt like they needed to be agents and send a memo that like I'm this horrible person, which I'm not, but that's a toxic person for you. So someone I've known for probably over 10 years was so casual and added information to them And it just made me think that like everything is from God. So I was meant to like really reevaluate and like let go. So we've known someone for years and years. It really doesn't mean that the quality of the friendship is any better, although we tend to think that it would be, right? Because we've shared time with them and resources, and it's really not necessarily so. So I'm excited to connect with people that are on my level, connect with more women as well. Um, I would prefer that. I think it's ideal. Um, so, yeah, I mean, I think social connections make us feel good, you know, healthy ones, and they're hard to come by, I feel. Um, and like a disconnect is where the trauma is, because as humans, we want to have that connection. So for sure, a toxic person really emphasizes that disconnect and they make you feel wrong. But a toxic person's expectations are so high for the other that you could never even fulfill it. You could never be enough because they're really not towing their own line, right? They're not doing the work. So they want you to do essentially double the work. And we shouldn't have to go through hoops and jump so high for people. We have our own path, and that should be respected. So it's so much better without the toxic people in my life, and it wouldn't even be normal to have that like perpetually every day, and to wake up and feel this dread and this heaviness and this anxiety. That's not even normal, you know. And I don't want to accept that into my life. And when we found joy and peace, hopefully you can find that. I think a lot of it is in nature and the beauty, and learning to love alone time as well. Reading, my dog, even though he bugs me, I find a lot of peace in him. When we found that peace and that contentment and that like emotional regulation, then when a toxic person is introduced to our life and throws it off, we can realize that it's better off to cut the ties. But if we're not emotionally regulated and we've had a lot of trauma and we're constant under survival mode and under stress, then we may not even realize the effect of it, or we may accumulate it. I know everybody has different environments. I found work environments very difficult, very stressful, and I've moved away from having to be in a work setting, thank God. But toxicity is sort of everywhere, right? Because that's the message of today's world, is to dress a certain way and to listen to all this garbage music. And the musicians themselves are like falling apart on drugs, overdosing, and we're listening to that. You know what, there's not going to be any good that comes out of that. Normalizing just hooking up with people, or just this just cheapened behavior. I just turned off the radio because I didn't want that information. I didn't want to hear it. It's like pollution. So I think it was 2019, I just decided that's enough. I'm going to drive in silence. And at first it was a little bit, it took a little getting used to, but work is effort, right? So we need to make an effort to have a fulfilling life. We need to make an effort to have more. And if you're searching, that's the beginning. And it helps to see, you know, an example. It helped really for me to see an example of a better life, of a different life. And it took me years to realize that it's not such a big sacrifice. I'm going to try it. I definitely feel that it's turned my life even around even more than I could have imagined. And I'm loving this dress. Oh my goodness. It's cotton, and I love cotton because they try to trick you into buying polyester, which I have clothes that are polyester, some of them, but cotton and silks and natural fabrics are amazing. This is lined. The buttons are covered. It's got it on sale. It was an amazing price. I'm so happy with this dress. So yesterday I had to go to the bank, and this lady noticed my shirt dress. It was like a shorter dress, but I wore a long skirt under it. And because I would never wear a short dress, and even when I was wearing secular clothes, this dress, they must have saved on fabric, but the material is beautiful and the design is beautiful. And she remarked, she said, "Wow, I love your outfit, it's so beautiful," and that they did intend to make that as a dress. And we both kind of joked because you wouldn't even be able to move around in it. And that is kind of what I'm used to, is when I go out, usually there's like one woman who I don't even know, but she'll stop me and just say, I love your clothes." And we don't dress up very much in our society, or at least I'm not seeing it where I live, probably in other areas. But it's like a celebration of life, you know? It's like having these beautiful flowers, and it's an art form, and it's romantic, and it brings out your femininity, and you're treated in a gentle way. And yesterday I went to the store, and I could tell the gentleman, like, he recognized this was a nice way of dressing, a nice way of being. And it just brings out more of like a refinement in your environment and the way people treat you and the way you look at yourself, because it's an exchange of energy. Like, you're putting that out to the world, then you're getting the reaction, which is a nice, soft, gentle reaction, and it's reaffirming that you're deserving of respect. So I never realized how much my life would change because I changed my dress, and I didn't dress provocatively. I wore business pants or slacks and jeans and t-shirts. I mean, I was covering myself, but it was also like those clothes accentuate your sexuality. So even though they're not provocative, they're just pants, they're just business pants, but they're making the eye go towards those parts that I now cover. And I wouldn't feel comfortable not covering anymore. It's just a whole different energy. It's like if you did go, let's say you did dress provocatively, then you're inviting this dark energy, and it's inviting something that really that's going to be a battle in your life. And I don't know why secular society is promoting this. I've been trying to think about it the last couple of days because I'm going to do a talk with this lady, and I don't know if it's for nefarious, evil reasons that they're doing it. It could be because when you break a society down, you can control them, and they are effectively breaking our society down. And the addiction to Facebook, and everyone's posting everything. I mean, you shouldn't. You should really protect your life and what you have. Or it could be the other reason that it's being done is that it's the easy way, right? It's the way of the least effort. But in the end, it creates such havoc and such chaos and such brokenness in your life. It's like the least effort with the worst results. But it could be a greater nefarious plan. It very well could be. There's lots of questionable things that is happening, like with our food and with medicine and with all these messages of fear these last couple years. I guess if you break the child down to begin with, they don't have anything as a reference. Like, I have the reference of that innocence of being a child and wearing dresses and having hobbies that interested me and being interested in life. But I guess if one didn't even have those memories to go back on, that would be really tough. Like, you wouldn't even have a reference point. So it's hard to say why this is happening. I don't think it's for any good reason. But if we live in secular society, that is not happiness. I mean, look at the most famous and well-paid actors and musicians. They're self-destroying themselves. They're anything but happy. That's misery. So I'll end it here, and I'm happy to say that life is like good, and more social contacts are coming, and I hope that you are happy and healthy. Thank you.